I mean this in the nicest and kindest way possible, but I don't fit the Mormon mold. I'm not blonde, I'm not skinny. I do have blue eyes, but I don't fit into that Mormon mold that like most girls in Utah do fit in. And I mean that in the kindest way possible.
But no, you're all good. I went to a BYU party and everyone was blonde. And I was like, what?
Like, I'm not. I'm brunette. I had highlights for a while. That was the closest I could get to blonde. But and I kind of just like I've had kind of the opposite experience of I didn't date a lot in high school. I kind of just went unnoticed. Kind of the same in college where I was friends with a lot of guys, but I wasn't going like getting asked out on dates at all. And even like carried on, like I haven't dated a lot in my life. I've dated more since not being a member of the church than I was as a member of the church. And it's just kind of interesting in a different perspective of just not being the cookie cutter Utah girl. But I have met a lot of really great guys, and every guy I've ever dated has been married now, and they've been married for years, and I'm still single. So, but I don't want their relationships at all. I congratulate them, but happy I'm not married to them. So, yeah, it's just interesting, and it's kind of interesting how like we're taught to I guess we're taught to just like go on dates and get to know people, but also like things can escalate really fast within a first date. Like I've gone on a few dates where like we're going on a date, there's been no hand holding, there's been no hugging or anything, and then they go in for a kiss at the end, and I'm like, no, we just skipped a whole bunch of steps. Like that's not gonna happen. So I don't know. It's really interesting culture here. So I don't know. Yeah, just really interesting.
Okay, no worries. I want to ask you. I mean, I'm in Cali, so like I don't really know the what's it like in being dating in Utah. But I wanted to just about a point that there's this cookie cutter expectation what blonde woman. I want to ask the ladies like who have been to Utah. Is that a real thing? Because I mean that's the first time me hearing it. Is that a real thing? Is that the cookie cutter?
In Utah, there's like all
blonde, blue eyes girl.
Yeah, they're blonde. They have these really bad spray tans. That's kind of
lashes.
Like Utah girl.
Oh, I forgot all about the lashes. They all had their lashes done. That's funny.
Yeah, and yeah.
Because I grew up at a very, very diverse high school where like I was the only blonde girl in that school. It was all Indian, Asian, Native American, Black, like everything else but me. And so then I really noticed it when I went to Utah for like a week. I was like, everyone looks like me. I was like,
what? So funny.
I want to ask you. So, is that what the men are looking for? Like, is that more of just the dating culture of the ward you go to or the church, or is that like what the men prefer? Like, I'm because there's a difference. I want to ask you guys. Like, what are the men are saying? Do they want that type? Is that what they look for?
I think what I found interesting. I found that what they're looking for is an outdoor adventurous girl.
Yeah.
Every guy in Utah wants a girl that can like look hot looking, get all dirty and muddy and look hot, And so I don't think like I've never heard anyone that's like, oh, she has to be blonde.
Oh, there's so many of my guy friends.
Really?
Actually, I'm not my man's type at all. I'm naturally brunette, but long story, the people that did my hair messed it up, so I had to go really short, and blonde was just the better option for what they did. But I was a brunette, and I'm not his type at all.
That's so funny. I've never known. The only people that are like I know like blondes are usually people that are like a different ethnicity. Someone that's like darker, they usually like blonde, blue eyes. That's the only time ever. But I'm in Arizona, and it's a little different than Utah.
I find it really interesting because I've done the dating apps and everything, and like I've done like a couple like I do little experiments because I find it fascinating where I've like swiped in different states or like across the country, and I get way more swipes outside of the state or than I do in Utah. Like I'm like, apparently I'm really attractive outside of Utah. So I don't know. It's really
It's been statistically proven.
Either way.
Yeah.